this kind of just hanging out at home, changing up the colors when I want to, because there's really easy ways to remove them, but I want to show you exactly how to dip. So let me show you a little bit of our starter kit. So you're gonna get 4 colors, and my personal favorite is Neutral Ground, which has this beautiful color. It's actually this color right here called Hush. And so you'll notice the powders here are really, really fine powders. Do you see how fine they are? Isn't that pretty? They're really, really fine powders. And they're just pigmented, they're non-toxic. And what's nice about them is that they create a really nice hard barrier on your nails. It actually kind of helps your nails grow. They're vitamin E, calcium fortified. So I love. Let me show you exactly how to do it though. This is my favorite part. There's a little learning curve, I will always tell you that. But once you get really good at it, you can do a manicure in like 30 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna show you. You get 3 liquids with your starter set, okay? So any of the starter sets that you buy, you're gonna get all 3 liquids, okay? So you're gonna start with 1. There's instructions easily online. There's lots of YouTube videos showing you how to do this, but you're gonna start with 1. And I'm just gonna dip 1 nail just so I can kind of give you a good explanation. First, you're gonna remove the shine from your nails, okay? Remove the shine, wipe them down with a little alcohol, and then you are all set to go. Okay, here we go. So the first step that you're gonna do is you're gonna use number 1. Don't use too much, a little bit is better. Okay, you ready? So I'm gonna go right down the middle of my nail, and this is what I want you to do. Stay away from the cuticle, just go right down the middle, about 2/3 of the way down, and then I'm gonna dip. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm gonna dip it in, and I'm gonna tap it off, okay? You can always dip another time if you need to. All right, so do you see how that picked up where I put the number 1, okay, which is called their Pro Base, okay? It's basically like a very strong adhesive that picks up that powder. And what's cool about it is that once you put it on there, you just brush it off, and you're gonna do another layer right on top of it. All right, so for the second layer, you're gonna stay with number 1, okay? We're still in number 1. Right? Again, remember, a little goes a long way. Wherever you put this number 1, wherever you put this Pro Base, the powder is going to pick up. So if you get it on your finger, it's going to pick up on your finger. So make sure you're careful with that. Okay, here we go. So now you're going to do your whole nail. All right? Make sure you don't touch the cuticle, but you can get close to it. Don't get too much liquid. Okay, you don't want to use too much because then it can kind of get a little bumpy. If it does get bumpy though, don't worry. You have the next step, step 2, is where you're actually gonna be able to fix it, okay? So you're gonna have an entire step to fix it, so don't be discouraged if it gets a little bumpy. When I first started, I had all types of little wonky bumps, but you can file them out, so don't worry. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna dip it in, all right? Dip it in, and it's gonna get all of that powder, okay? So do you see there's even a little kind of bumpy there, but don't worry, you don't have to worry about that. You get to file all of that down, because you can file not only the outside of your nail to shape, you can also file the top, because this is gonna become basically really, really strong, almost like acrylic, okay? So there, I did my whole nail. It looks like let's see if I missed any spots. I'm gonna do 1 more coat. Normally I say do 2, but let's just do 1 more, okay? So you brush that off, and then I'm gonna do 1 more coat, all right? Here we go. I'm gonna do 1 more coat, and don't worry, again, if it gets too thick, if it gets bumpy, don't worry, because again, you have an entire step to fix it. All right, so I did that, and I'm gonna dip 1 more time. Here we go. Dip, tap. I always like to just tap it off on the side, and if it ever looks like it's a little wet still, just dip it in again. You don't have to worry about it, okay? So it looks like I'm covered, okay? So again, even though it's bumpy, it's not gonna look like that at the end, because you get to file it. So at the end, it ends up looking like that, okay? All right, now, after that step, actually it's a little wet still, I'm gonna just close the powder. So you're done with the dip powder at this point, and we're gonna move on to step 2. You're just gonna brush off any of that excess, okay? I will let you know you can use like an old makeup brush if you want. We do have a Swift Soak kit that I'll tell you about in a little bit that actually comes with one of these brushes from Revel Nail, but you can use like an old makeup brush if you'd like. All right, next, step 2 is the activator, okay? So here we go, number 2. So again, it's easily labeled, number 2. And this one is basically like the consistency of water. It doesn't matter if you get this onto your skin. I just wanna make sure you do a full brush on each nail. And this is the activator that's gonna harden all that powder that you just put on. So do you see I'm kind of over brushing? There you go. And I'm gonna let that dry for about 2 minutes, okay? And then I'm gonna file this. And this is the cool part where I can fix kind of any mistakes that I made. And then again, it's gonna come out smooth like that. So do you see how the difference in color, once you put that top coat on, it changes a little bit. So that's really cool. While this is drying, I will tell you a couple things. This is the Swift Soak machine. I say machine, it's really just this really cool bowl. It's done in a silicone and it's patented from Revel Nail. It's one of my favorite products that I tell everyone, if you're gonna start a dip journey, or even if you get your nails done out at a salon, this is the easiest way to remove it, and it's non-damaging, which is to me the most important, because there's nothing worse than your nail being super soft and brittle, and then you feel like you're always stuck getting your nails done. You can't wear just your natural nail. Don't worry if you use this. This also does come with a couple other accessories, some acetone, the brush that I was telling you about. You get a little filing cube, as well as 2 of these, and this guy. So this is really nice to help push back the cuticle, as well as if you prefer, instead of dipping your nail, you can actually scoop powder over your nail. So you have a couple options there. But this is what's so cool about this. All right, so there's actually 3 layers here. So what you do, in the bottom, you pour hot water, okay? And then there's a little line, it shows you where to pour that to. You put the next level in. There's all these little silicone kind of nubbies in there. All right, and so those little bristles are what's gonna help get off that gel polish, but also you're gonna put acetone in here, just covering these bristles, just covering, not all the way, that would use way too much. Just covering the bristles. You're gonna wait about 5 minutes and let that acetone heat up from the water underneath. And a little science for you, acetone actually is more solvent when it's hot. So that means it's gonna help to remove that even more. So then you put the top on, and then you are all set. You put your hands in there, and you just kind of rub, and it takes off in about 3 to 5 minutes, which is amazing, and again, damage free. So one more thing, let me just show you a couple of the colors, is that okay? All right, so Neutral Ground is the one that I have on, but here's some other ones. So again, you get 4 sets in each, or excuse me, 4 colors in each, and each jar has about 12 to 15 manicures in it. So math, 40 plus manicures basically you're getting, plus you get the liquid. So this is going to be on Cloud Wine, which has some really pretty kind of deeper tones. Fabulous in French, you can actually do a French manicure, or if you just like kind of easy pinks, neutrals, that's going to be your bet. We also have One Dip Wonder, which has been very popular. It has some lighter shades, but then also some really fun kind of glitter, as well as red. And then this is the one that we recently actually added in, and it's my personal favorite. I love these kind of neutral tones. If you've been into kind of the mocha mousse trend that's happening, these are all really, really, really light. But again, look at this. This is the Hush color, and look how it looks when you actually put it on. So they do get a little bit darker when you put them on. So change up a little bit. And then again, you get the 3 liquids that I'm showing you how to use right now, and that means 40 plus manicures. This does actually last about 5+ weeks. Actually, usually it's grown out so much that you have to change it. So that's what I like. It's also very strong, vitamin E, calcium fortified. So just a beautiful product that actually helps your nails grow longer and protects them. If you break your nails a lot like I do, because I'm extremely clumsy, it's gonna help so that you're not breaking your nails all the time. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes. So now this is hard, okay? That activator hardened all of that. And this is where you get to file away. So you can use, you know, a really nice gritty file if you have some crazy bumps, or you just really, really wanna thin that out. You can use a nail grinder if you want as well. You can shape the sides, okay? You can shape the tops. You can also use a little buffing kind of block if you'd like, and file that down until it's exactly the shape you want it to be. I always recommend getting like a little grinder, like a nail grinder. The Drills, Revel Nail does have one. I'm trying to get it here at the network. But I think that they just make everything go a bit faster, especially when you're first starting and maybe your nails get a little thicker than you want them to be. It really helps to just speed the process up of kind of grinding them down. Okay. So again, I just did phase 2, or bottle 2, which is the activator, okay? So that's hardening the nail. That's any mistakes you've made, you can kind of fix in this step, okay? So I'm just gonna really, really file that down, get any of the bumps out. And then again, that top coat is the last step, and that's really gonna even everything out and make this look really shiny and professional. And then again, it lasts 5+ weeks. They are non-toxic as well. So this brand is really about safety. It's actually sold in the EU. And if you don't know, the EU is so much more strict on what they put in their kind of products. So that makes me really proud to say that you can feel very safe with this brand. All right, so there we go. I filed. Then I'm gonna want you to rinse your hands just with water. Okay, make sure they're dry. So I'm just wiping them with a little wet paper towel under here. Okay, so now here, I filed. Do you see? Nice and smooth. Okay, and again, if you take as long as you want to kind of smooth them out, make them exactly how you want. After that, you're gonna do one last step of activator, which is number 2. Same thing, I want you to do a full, oh, don't wanna do 1. 2, I want you to do a full brush on each nail, okay? Full brush, all right? Brush over the nail, all right? Let that dry for just a couple of seconds. And then what's nice about this one is that you just wipe it off a tiny bit. You don't need to rinse, just wipe it off a bit, and that activator is gonna help you with the last step. Okay, so I have that on there, wait like 15 seconds, and then I'm just gonna kind of wipe it off with a paper towel. And then the last step, you're gonna do 2 coats of top coat. This is 3, okay? So with the top coat, the first coat that you do, you're gonna do it in like two brush strokes really quick, okay? You don't wanna take too much time with this one. You just gotta do really, really quick. Here we go, ready? We're gonna do kind of 1, 2, you can do 3 if you need, okay? And then I'm gonna let that dry. You're gonna notice that it gets a little textured. That means it's dry. So once this starts to dry a bit, it'll change kind of some of the shine to a little bit more textured, and then that means it's ready to go on to the final coat. And that coat of top coat, you can just do a little bit slower, and be a bit more kind of particular on how you do that. So do you see it's kind of changing a bit? Do you see that? Can you tell? I don't know if you can see on the phone, but it changes texture a little bit so it's not as shiny. And then you do your last coat. Now another thing that's nice is if you ever mess up this last step, for some reason, I don't, like maybe you bump it or something, you can actually file the shine off of that nail and do the last step of activator one more time. So back to step 2 and then do that part over again. So that's really nice. I like that you have lots of places to fix anything, because again, there's a learning curve to this, but once you get it, you are gonna be addicted, okay? I also love doing my nails. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like to pour a glass of wine, tell my husband to take the kids to the other room, let me watch my show. Okay, last step, all right? So this one you could be, again, a bit more detailed. You don't wanna use too much. And this just like a regular top coat. Make sure you cap the end. I missed a little spot there. And that's it. So that's it. Do you see how shiny that is? And then this dries in like a minute or 2. It dries way faster than normal nail polish. And then again, you don't need a lamp, no UV lamp. There are some special cool things you can do with a UV lamp if you want to, if you like to do kind of chrome finishes, but we'll talk about that another day and I'll do a little demo of that. But that's it. I will let you know we are doing a giveaway. So I'm super excited. Today's actually the last day to enter, okay? So make sure that you go to Shop HQ, their Facebook or Instagram page. You can go to my Instagram is Janae, the letter C more. You'll find the picture. I'm wearing this cute leopard top, and then you're gonna just make sure you enter that, because we're giving away my favorite dip set, which is the neutral ground, as well as a Swift Soak bowl, so that you have everything you need to kind of start your dip journey. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. Always ask me questions. I'm always here.